This is the Dudley Co-Op. Today, we're going to give you a sneak peek into the everyday lives of the people that have chosen to live on 3 Sacramento Street.
The 32 students who live in the co-op come together in these common spaces to watch movies, catch up, study, and throw parties. Unlike the other 12 Harvard houses, co-opers must do chores in order to ensure the upkeep of the house and the common spaces. We spoke to the 2 co-presidents to hear more.
I think to a lot of people the co-op really feels like a home, right? So it's very natural to just live alongside each other, and we take care of the houses, we take care of the community, and that's really what probably distinguishes it most from the dorm system, right? It does feel like a place to come home when you're walking back from class. You know, it's a little bit away from the yard, but not too far, but you actually have the feeling that you're walking to your home. And that sense of community, I think, is, you know, it's pretty visible.
I was just really excited about the energy in the space and sort of the integration of a lot of different people around the dinner table and afterwards, sort of activities going on. And it was something, I think, living in a house that, or in a freshman dorm, that felt like it was missing.
I like the idea of cooking yourself, doing stuff for yourself. While the dining halls, you know, it's pretty convenient, but there was always something missing, right? In the sense that people would cater to me and do stuff for me, and I think this is a much more natural environment.
Social events at the co-op tend to happen pretty organically, with people just standing around in the kitchen as bread comes out of the oven, and if people finish their work and want to watch a movie, they can just do that. So there's less planning in terms of those sorts of events, but every semester we typically have a few parties here, and we have a few different events, like we'll have speakers come to dinner, or a barbecue in the spring. Sometimes we play sports before dinner, things like that.
Every night, all students and their tutors eat a home-cooked meal at 6:30, prepared exclusively by their fellow co-opers. These meals help reinforce the family dynamic that is found within this community. Other students are welcome to join in the meals, and the co-op has guest speakers and faculty dinners.
In order to make dinner happen, there are a lot of different chores. So cooking might be the most obvious, but there are a variety of different prep jobs in terms of cleaning, getting the kitchen ready to cook, and then afterwards doing dishes and pots. And we all sign up for chores, a certain number per week, and you can do whatever sorts of things you like to do.
The only requirement really is to do your points, right? And as long as you're willing to do that, you're more than welcome to live here. So, you know, in that sense, it's a little bit self-selecting in that way, because only certain people would be interested in that style of living.
If you're living in a Harvard house, you pay room and board to Harvard, and if you're living in the co-op, you pay room to Harvard because they own the house. But you pay board to the co-op, and there will be a co-op treasurer who decides what board is at the beginning of every semester. And that usually covers all the bulk food that we get, and the parties and some of the other things that we do in the house. And typically it's a lot cheaper than board would have been at one of the houses to be on the meal plan. In the fall, we always have an event called Thanksgiving, which is sort of a combination of Thanksgiving and Halloween, as you might expect. And it's an opportunity to invite a lot of friends over and have a really big meal. Lots of good cooking. It's not vegetarian. What else do we do? We have a faculty dinner. But I guess there are fewer sort of traditional events that happen every semester, because typically it sort of depends on who's living in the co-op and what they're excited to do. So we typically every semester change things up a lot. That's I think what happens during the mixer has to stay at the co-op.
I like the co-op. Friendly people, good food.